So I said, let's do it together because I think she is the perfect partner to do these kind of things. And then Marta said no. And Marta said no. Hey, give me the details. So that was, as she said, 2 years ago. I declined the offer, saying, "You are crazy. We have such a busy life. So we have small kids. We have full-time job. We can't take it." But then this came back to my mind, and I asked her, "Do you remember what you proposed last year?" So yeah, we were brave enough to start. The validation of an idea without issues, well, you can get it into the dreaming world and said, this is something that maybe we are going to do one day.
They are Roberta and Marta, two full-time working moms who turned a late-night idea into La Chambre Bleue, a space where art, culture and connections come alive. At first, Marta said no. Life was too busy. But the idea came back, and this time, they said yes. In this episode, we talk about taking imperfect action, create safe spaces for women, and building something meaningful for pure passion. So please, grab a cup of coffee or tea, get comfortable, and enjoy this episode. Welcome to the Brilliantly Branded podcast.
Welcome one more time to the Brilliantly Branded podcast. Today, I am joined for two wonderful women that have been creating a brand that is called La Chambre Bleue. It's a brand that we are going to share with you about this concept of how they bring cultural, creative people and artists to enjoy an intimate place together. It's a beautiful purpose behind, and they are going to let us know many things and details about how they have been created and how those have been coming to the reality. So I'm going to introduce you Roberta, Masia, and Marta Ferri. And they are going to let us know all the details. So please welcome to the Bringing Velvet podcast. And just start, but could you introduce yourself and give a little bit of the background about how the things have been starting this journey? Okay, so I start. My name is Roberta. I've been studying arts since high school, I think, and I graduated in economics for arts, counter entertainment. And then my life brought me to different paths, and I started working in a corporate environment. But this passion for arts still remained one of my biggest. And that's why I started collecting young artists when I was around 30 because you need a bit of money to start. So one of my first passions. So I keep working in a corporate still that I really enjoy and I like. I like my independency, financial and psychological. And I have two kids. They are now almost 6 and almost 5, which I enjoy a lot and I love a lot. Fantastic. Cool. Could you, Marta, could you introduce yourself? Thank you, Maria, for your time today and for inviting us. So we have something in common with Roberta. I'm also a full-time working mom. So I also have 2 more kids and a full-time job. But still, I also owned a master's degree in arts, where art and literature were my main subjects. And even if my life then did bring me somewhere else, this is still my passion. And that's why one day we sat together and we decided to bring back our passion to our tables. That is beautiful. That is incredible because you both have this background that is connecting you with art. And the things that you have been doing have been just showing, that we wanted to do something, not just keep the passion, but maybe hiding the passion. And that is amazing. So I would love you to tell me a little bit more about how that name, because I mentioned a little bit about the mission that we wanted to do, but let's start to bring in the people to know
where the name of the La Chambre Bleue come to the question, because I think it's very important where everything has been brought. So tell me.
This is actually very important to us. It took us a bit of time to choose the right name. La Chambre Bleue. So actually, this came from the French salons. So in particular from Catherine Vivant. She was an Italian noblewoman from Rome. She moved to Paris for her marriage, and then she decided to open one of her rooms, the blue room, La Chambre Bleue. Why? Just because this room was completely decorated in blue and painted in blue. But so she used to host artists, philosophers, writers to her place. So they were having conversations and discussions about, the politics or just the world of art. But why in particular Catherine Bibon and not another salon? Simply because that was one of the few places at that time to encourage women to participate, to engage in discussion alongside men. And that was very uncommon at that time. And maybe I give you the floor, Roberta. Yes. Yeah, so that was the initial idea, to create a space where people feel welcomed, where arts is more accessible, more understandable, because now the places where you can see arts are much more than a museum or a gallery. And this was the idea, to bring arts at home and to make it accessible for people that can listen from the artist itself, the thoughts behind what inspired them to create. And then also people can meet other people with subjects that are not related to, let's say, your work environment or your routine. So you meet other interesting people and around the subject that is interesting, not common, let's say.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that, because reaping this strong argument about how to create a brand that is put in the service with a very strong cause, that it was giving that space to women that in that time they haven't had. Today we have more space, and you are still bringing that, but enhancing the power of giving that space to women. So how you have been managing that in order to give that space, as you will explain, not just for women, but how you end up creating that space that you are doing here when you invite people to the shop.
Okay, maybe I start. So what we notice is that now actually the arts world is more balanced between men and women compared to the past. And the women are more represented, are more present. And that's something that also in the collection I would like to improve, and then gives more space and visibility to women artists. But we notice that it's a reality. So now women are more represented than in the past. And then we see that when women feel, let's say, have a conversation with other women in the same situation, because most of them are professionals and moms, and it's the particular connections created that makes them open up and inspire people that are there, and then they can create something really intimate, some real, authentic, when we sit together, women with women.
Yeah, that is completely true, and that have been part of my journey as well, where I have been reading all genders as well. But when we are between we find that commonality, and we see, okay, listen, heard, understood, and seen, and that is so powerful. What do you think about this, Marta?
Yeah, I'd like to maybe underline for our listeners that what we do when we create an event, and we also prepare a kind of interview, exactly like we're doing with our artists. But it's a very intimate interview, and we really like people to be engaged. So that's why it's a very intimate situation, which everyone can talk.
And what we realized was that really women, when we present our association, the female artists, they immediately say yes. They immediately feel comfortable talking with us and open themselves with us. And that's maybe it's not just a pure coincidence that 5 out of 6 of our events are with female artists.
So, and it's fantastic. Yeah. I have been in most of them. And I have been realizing how you create this safe space. And this is what we were talking about right now. Because it's very important to make people feel confident and feel that they can share almost whatever. And I think the artists, especially because I am one close and you are as well, we are sometimes quite difficult in order to express. And the way that we are going to express is across the art. So sometimes communication is not the big scale. So having a safe place is given to you this intimacy that you mentioned before. And I really am glad to be part of that because I have been here sharing that space. But coming a little bit back about how you created all this, because I think it's very important to learn about your experience, what you have been doing that for others to learn to feel empowered because I know that this is part of of your purposes. So would you like to tell us and share with us a little bit about it?
So maybe the initial idea came from Roberta, so she will start, and then I will say something.
So me and Marta are also friends. And then our kids are also friends. So we've been together in some places during the summer. And we share like late night conversations and ideas about life. I think that is coming, how all the ideas coming true. Yeah, yeah. And then I think it was 2 years ago. And then I came to Marta, and then I was saying, look, I think that we both need, and then we need a space, a place where to host cultural events. This is what I miss of Italy, and that we where we participated a lot of these kinds of events. Um, so it's a bit more difficult in Luxembourg because we didn't know the place very well. So I said, let's do it together because I think she is the perfect partner to do these kind of things. And then Marta said no. Marta said no. Wait, look at the details. So that was, as she said, 2 years ago. I declined the offer, saying, "You are crazy. We have such a busy life. We have small kids. We have full-time job. We can't make it at all." Yeah. But then the year after, so last year, we were together in the sharing holidays, summer holidays. But then this came back to my mind, and I asked her, "Do you remember what you proposed me last year?" So actually, I feel I just came back from Rome, so my city, and I had a very nice weekend full of events, cultural events. I met artists and so on. Are you still in with this project? Because maybe now I'm ready to help you. So yeah, that's a funny story.
But I love it because it's how we, as well as women, find the right moment and we connect with the inspiration and we just take actions. Sometimes we need to think a little bit more, like, well, let's not think about that. But sometimes we decline. We say, well, no, I'm not ready for that. And then we are like ruminating the idea. I think that I'm feeling very identified with what you say and I love it. And part of the things that I wanted to know as well, how did you validate the idea that that would be something that will work? So as you said, I immediately took action. So when we went back to Luxembourg, I said, now we need to start. Otherwise, this will remain like a summer idea. Yeah. And I will to make it happen. The workout starts September 2024. Yeah.
Cool. Well, it's a bit alien, but it's going quite fast.
It's a new word day, exactly. So I immediately started actually really creating a no-profit association. So we started really with the Luxembourg registered business. And we created a non-profit association culturelle, so a cultural association, non-profit. And then also the difficult part was actually, okay, now we need to find also someone who will follow us and come to our space, which was not obvious actually. So how we hire artists here? And how do we convince them that this is a good idea? So yeah, we were brave enough to start and to I think it's important as well. You can complement it, but for people that wanted to create an association in Luxembourg and how the procedures are, I think it's important if you can share with us how that procedure was, because sometimes people is how am I going to create that? Giving, I mean, the most difficult part is the first step, right? Then you can carry on and growing things. But this first step, how that was the creation of the association, and then we are going to talk about the community.
Okay, then I think that for this Masia is she's the action woman. So the action woman, yeah, and then she will make it happen.
No, almost.
So yes, so very practical information. So I have no idea how to do it. So I started searching and I start with this myguichet.lu and discovering that that was not the right place. But Shelly make it off. Okay, yeah, no, this will look right. But I started making phone calls like to everyone, and in the end, I ended up with the Luxembourg registered business. Super helpful people. So I talked with them a lot. I called them a lot, and you can also go there actually and ask. And yeah, and then you need to actually create your statute of the association. You need to have a president, a vice president, a secretary. So you need to be at least three.
Yeah.
That's why we actually involved with also our husbands in this crazy journey.
I love that. I love that because actually it's like how you become together, build a team, but you help each other in many different ways. That's pretty fantastic.
That's true. And also, I must say that to be two or three adds a lot. Because I have to underline that because for people, especially that maybe are more creative, they usually have more difficulties in make ideas happen. And then also they get very excited at the beginning, and then the excitement goes down sometimes. And analytics, for example, and then it was really essential to have someone on the same boat in your situation that can that you can share your worries with and your doubts, and then sometimes it's you and sometimes it's the other person, and then you support each other, which is great. That's why I mean my suggestion is find a partner.
Yeah.
But for sure it's essential.
Yeah, it's many lessons actually to learn from what you have been doing, because the validation of an idea without actions, well, you can get it into the dreaming world and say, this is something that maybe we are going to do one day. And then the purpose that I have been choosing, how we are going to support from our artists to really spotlight them. And this is what you are doing like that. So how you've been building the community is one of my questions, and I will love you to share for people to know how they can belong as well to this community.
Yes. So should I start? So the community starts with the people that we know or people that know people that we know. So with the plus one is essential. So the importance of the network, we discover really this really important point, because the people that come are people that know someone that belong to the community, and then they share our ideas. We start a lot with the social channels. I wouldn't say a lot. We start, but this was a channel, and then it's growing now thanks to the initial network.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is very, very, very important. We discover to open up to go out more,
Yeah.
even to events where maybe you don't speak the language, and then you don't know anyone, and then you go there and sometimes magic happens, and then you start conversations, and then when we share this kind of association, I have to say that they are interested a lot.
Yeah.
And they support, they come and they participate.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, if I can add something, supporting our association would of course mean, to share the ideas with other people, to come, to join. But we always need to keep the association fresh. So we always need to have more voices, more artists, and maybe to diversify as well the type of event to be creating. Because this helps, to keep the association alive. Also, what we would love also if someone would like to propose as a new space, for example, their homes actually, like it was done in the past with these French salons, because we believe that creating new spaces will always, be give more energy, more freshness to our association, and then of course to interest more people.
Yeah, you're right. And actually, you brought me something that is very clear is about how our brain works. And actually, we do new neural connections when you change the path. And in general, so that idea to bringing that to do it in another home. So if people are open to really open their places and bringing their artists, um, I guess they can connect it with you across social media, or I'm going to put as well the information about you. But I think that there is a lot of lessons about how you can really build a brand, build a business, but actually when you have a purpose behind that make a huge difference. So part of the things that I would like to ask you and to start it to wrap up a little bit is what is this advice that you can give now to all those people, especially women that wanted to start just with an idea, but convert it in something like you have been doing because you have been steps. I mean, you were saying it's a baby, but it's not a baby. I think that it is growing very fast because to have this purpose. So what will be this advice that you would like to give? And of course, if it is in between something else that you wanted to share with us, I'm more than open to listening to you.
I can start saying that we are never ready for changes. We are never super ready for changes. We need to stop overthinking. We need to stop thinking about doubts and what it will not work and so on. No, if we have an idea, we need to go on. We need to bring a bit of our consciousness and try to make it. And one day it will be reasonable for you in the end, will be reasonable also for the others. It's just you need to present it to, and also passion and fun are the most important ingredients. So if you like something, people will like it as well if you manage to make it happen. So it's not easy. It's not, of course, you need to risk, but risk also is life. So without risking, there is no life. So if you have an idea, just go for it. And that would be my principal advice.
It's very wise, and I will ask for your advice. I just wanted to Ravi. And the thing is how we end up not do things because we forget that we can just voice these things out, share with others. Sometimes we are afraid about sharing an idea because we are thinking, oh, well, if I share my idea, is all the person will come pick up. But actually, what is making the difference is taking actions in doing that. And this has been as well my personal experience. I can share many things. Now I am having a new product. I am sharing about that because I am in the market validation. And then you start to realize, oh wow, yeah, this is resonating with people. And what you share is actually showing that this is the way to do and do it with determination and self-confidence. And you, but
So yes, we were actually discussing about this, and I think that the most important thing is to try without caring too much. I mean, what do you mean with that? caring too much about the failure. Yes, I explain. So, especially at the beginning, we take the first steps thinking, okay, let's do this exercise. Let's see what is wrong, what is right, and then we adjust. Even if it's not starts as the best thing ever, but you put it as an exercise, a test, and you learn from it. On top, there is this excitement of doing this kind of not only events, but in general, when you start a new adventure, you have this kind of excitement, then you will remember forever.
Very nice.
Yes, yes, yes. I mean, when you are old, then you look back and then you feel it again, and you can never regret it, even if at the end failure it ends for some other reasons. But you try and you experience that you live.
But that is beautiful, and that it's probably people wondering, yeah, but when I have those fears, how can I remove those fears? Do you have any suggestion about that?
For me, and that it's linked to what I said before. It was a session to alcohol. So when I had a peer, I shared. So it can be her or it can be other people. Of course, it's stronger with the partner because it's in the same. She was in the same situation as me.
Yeah.
I feel more reassured. Her words are more valid than someone else.
That is beautiful. Gave me goosebumps. Because it's true. I mean, I sometimes see how we needed this support. And sometimes we find the support in someone next to us, but sometimes we don't ask for that support. We just keep the fear with us and we don't share. We don't share and we keep that. So that is really end up in many other different not positive things. We are going to bring it that. But I think that that is so beautiful. And just to wrap up, what are the next events? How we can invite people to be part of that? How people can be part of this beautiful initiative and brands?
Okay, I explain a bit. So the next event will be the 5th of April. It will be with an artist um, who does beautiful artworks, and then it will be in her studio directly. So we thought it was amazing to let people see where artists work, where they feel comfortable. And then our idea is also to diversify a bit. So not only talking strictly about arts like paintings, but go also on different disciplines like music, like movie directors. So actually, I anticipate a bit, but the next will be a projection of a short movie of a young movie director who is amazing.
Yeah, wow, that sounds amazing. And I still know that probably I'm going to connect you with as well someone that is managing artists and film in Luxembourg. It's all the things on the network, as you were saying at the beginning, is so important that now I just come to mind. Well, I'm going to connect them.
Yeah, see, we happen also that.
And, and that's, as I was saying, it is exactly what we need. So we need more connection and we need to really try to be more deep in the artistic, um, let's say, words in Luxembourg. And really try to make La Chambre Bleue something always alive. So yeah, that is our purpose.
Yeah, well, you have a clear purpose, a clear mission, and a vision as well, because what you want is something that really is going to, or is already generating impact and supporting and uplifting women. And you are leading by example. You are a women that are doing that and showing that that is possible and that is succeeding. So congratulations. And I'm really happy to have you as guest in the Brilliantly Branded podcast. I think that you have a brilliant brand and I wishing you all the best. I don't know if you want to say it last words here.
First of all, thanks for this opportunity. But yes, maybe my last word will be that we're humans, so we are full of doubts, and but still, it's important to go on and to believe in what we're doing.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
And I also thank you for this opportunity because we need also visibility. I share a little practical things. So if someone wants to join, and we would be very happy if someone joins, to go to the website, go to the Instagram page, talk to us because we are nice ladies.
I did not get it out about that.
So please join and try also this experience.
Correct. Good, for sure. I'm going to put all the information there. Thank you.
You can hear. By so much.
Fantastic.
So, first